This episode is powered by OutPost Roasters, small batch, high quality coffee with soul. OutPost Roasters in Johnson City specializes in freshly roasted, small batch, ethically sourced, fair trade local coffee. That's what sets them apart from the big guys. They work directly with small farms and co-ops to ensure responsible practices and rich, balanced flavor in every single cup. Whether it's early mornings or late nights, their 12-ounce bags deliver bold, smooth coffee at a totally fair price. Head to outpostroastersjc.com to explore their blends and single origins. Outpost Roasters, coffee that's definitely worth waking up for.
Well, good morning, Will.
Good morning.
It's nice to finally meet you.
Yeah.
I know that, I think it was last year when Love Thy Neighbor happened, right?
Yeah.
And then you had reached out to Brian, and then Brian was able to be a part of that. And so that was really, that was cool to be a part of that. And so we thought we would just invite you here today just to talk through some things, whatever you want to talk about.
Sweet.
But if you want to introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm Will Barbour, husband to Haley Barbour. We've been married almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years next year.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And then have 3 kids. Legend is 8, Creed is 5, and Danielle is 2.
Nice.
And a big part of our story is we fostered and adopted all of them.
Oh, cool.
And I'm the REF campus minister at ETSU. Been doing that for 7 years. So I'm going to have a sabbatical this summer.
Wow.
When I'm going to make the chicken coop, hopefully.
Oh,
we talked about that. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I'm from Boone, North Carolina originally.
Right.
So always kind of been in this area.
Nice. And is Haley from here too?
She is from Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh,
and
okay.
so
Yeah. That's
Johnson
over by
City
Nashville, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Isn't
Johnson
that where all
City's
the
in between.
musicians live?
It is, yeah. Yes, it is. There's some nice houses in Franklin. It's a nice area.
Yeah. Dolly Parton lives out there. I think
Right, yeah.
Franklin is like, we've never been there. I've been to Nashville. Brian hasn't been yet. I need to take him there. 'Cause it's such a fun city.
Yeah. Hot chicken. It's my favorite thing about it.
Oh, right. I think there's a new hot chicken restaurant that just opened it here in JC too,
Yes.
right? Soon?
Clucky's. It's amazing. Highly recommend. Yeah.
It's a great name.
Yes.
Clucky's hot chicken. Now, how spicy is it?
You can adjust it to however spicy you want. And they have all kinds of flavors.
You add your own sauce?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's great. You can customize it. It's great.
Is it fried chicken? Do they do grilled? Okay.
I don't think grilled chicken would be the move at Clucky's. I don't know. I feel like you got to have it fried.
Well, I have a gluten allergy.
Oh, no.
So do they so I can't. So Brian can try it, and then I can live through Brian.
Yeah, you can just watch him with tears running down his face as he's eating hot chicken. That'd be great.
It's great. So you said your sabbatical this summertime. How long is that going to be? And you want to build a chicken coop?
Yes. So
excuse me.
My son is 5 years old. The sabbatical is going to be 7 weeks to answer your question. And I just have this 5-year-old son who just has a motor like no one else. And I just think it'd be really fun for both of us to build this coop together. The videos we've been watching online, it looks like the way to go and the cheapest route is to buy a shed, an old shed, or sometimes people just get rid of these and you can just go pick it up.
Yeah.
And then build, I guess, a chicken run around it. I'm still learning all this. I'm not a handyman at all. So this would be a stretch for me a little bit, but I think hopefully it's doable.
Well, any questions you can ask Brian, because Brian has built 2 chicken coops now, our first chicken coop and now our second. And Brian can literally do and build anything. So you just ask him. Both of ours we did out of pallets, which I don't know, love-hate relationship, Brian, because of pulling it apart. That was the hardest part. It's really easy to find free pallets, but pulling each pallet off is like the difficult part, and all the nails, and like it just becomes very tedious. But there's a lot of really cool plans out there that use pallets. And so like we ended up our first one, we had an old yard trailer that we just used for brush. And so we just built it on that trailer. And so that way it could be mobile. We could just pick it up and move it. Because chickens do go number 2 a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a lot of poop. That's all they do. They just walk. And it's their thing. And so we built it on this trailer. And then it was awesome though. It was like a palace. And then we ended up losing that entire flock to predators. It was very painful. It was like in the span of 2 hours, and we were even home. That's what's even crazier is that we didn't hear like the massacre that was happening outside of our window, until like, I don't know, did we go to the store or we went somewhere and we stepped outside, and we were just like, what? Because there was piles of feathers, and that means there's a fox, because the fox will take it. And it was like, late afternoon. So the fox were out, and it was the springtime. So that's the time when fox mamas will teach their little ones how to hunt. So, we got hit on the ground. And then there was also a pair of falcons that were teaching their young. And so then we saw literal dead, like the carcasses of the rest of the chickens. We would just walk, and it was almost surreal, wasn't it, Brian? To like just keep, oh, maybe not for you. You were just like, whatever, they're chickens. But I was like, oh my gosh. Like we just walk a couple feet and I was like, oh, there's another one. Oh gosh. And it was, so it's just like utter destruction. And we were just like devastated after that. Cause I mean, we got hit a lot because we just let the eggs taste better if your chicken's free range. And so now that we tried again, we have lost 10. We lost 10 like a month ago to a raccoon.
Oh man. Yeah. How many do you have total?
Now we have 18? Yeah, we have 18. And 6 of them are not laying yet. Like one or two of them just started like yesterday. So they're very, very young chicks still.
Wow.
And then we have 2 roosters.
Okay.
So it's definitely interesting. You just have to be prepared because I mean, everybody loves chicken. So predators are going to find them. You cannot make anything 100% predator proof. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we didn't know that the raccoon could get in he found the weakness that we had in our coop. We were like, okay, well, now we know.
Yeah.
And now it's remedied, but it's just a matter of time. You just have to go into chicken owning knowing that it's going to be a perpetual, like you're going to have to continue to get chicks or you're going to have to continue to buy like laying hens. But it will be a really fun process for you guys to build that together and then memories and all of those things. So that's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give you some of our chickens. We'll get some chicks.
Oh man.
Incubate them.
Let's make a deal. I love that.
Yeah. Our chickens are really nice. But then you don't know what you're getting either. If you're going to get a rooster. Oh, sorry. I'm looking away. Can you still hear me okay? Okay. All right. So what is your position again at ETSU?
So I'm a campus minister.
Okay.
And I work for a organization called Reformed University Fellowship. So RUF.
RUF on your hat.
Yep. So yeah, love my job so much. I get to meet with students individually. We have a worship night on campus. We do small group Bible studies on campus and in fraternity houses and in different spots on campus. Cool. Yeah, I love what I do.
So does your day-to-day always different?
It is, yeah, which I really enjoy that part of my job.
Yeah.
I was talking with someone who used to work in campus ministry and then moved into a church job. And he said that in campus ministry, it's about 70% working with people and then 30% admin work. And then in the church, that flips where it's 70% admin and 30% working with people. Yeah. And I just love dealing with people. So thankful to get to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Because then you get to see what the people's needs are. So what is like with college students? I know it's kind of a mixed bag these days, just because there's so much going on in the world. And so what are some of the favorite like events and things that you get to do for some of these college students and just put your arms around them and give them some loving?
Yeah. It's a great question because there's, different things attract different people, obviously. And we have everything from really small events, like just a dinner at my house last night. We had some people over at our intern who works for us, her house to watch the Lego Batman movie. So, there's that. Yep. And then the biggest thing we do is every summer we bring students down to Laguna Beach, Florida to join literally 1,000 other college students at RUF Summer Conference. Okay. And one of the highlights of that is a silent disco on the beach. So, there's everything from like Lego Batman movie, just chill movie night in someone's house to doing this, expensive, big, fun silent disco on the beach in Florida. So,
wait, silent disco is when you everybody has their own headphones, right?
Yes.
And can you choose your own disco music?
It's the best thing ever.
Or is it one song, like everybody's got the same song? Like walk me through that.
So the way we do it is you have 3 different stations and 3 different DJs, and every DJ has their own color. And so you can see what other people are listening to because your headphones light up to that color when you're listening to that station. And so you'll have people rocking out to Taylor Swift while other people are like singing Nirvana right next to each other. And
disco
you obviously
versions?
Get to choose.
Are you talking about disco versions of Taylor Swift and Nirvana?
Sometimes. Usually it's just like the classics. And people are singing along and dancing, and
hilarious.
It's great. There's line dance, for people who are into that. And you get to choose on your headphone. So you can go back and forth. If you get tired of a song, you can switch a station. It's pretty great.
What do you think? Where do you think that started? The whole silent music thing.
We were talking about Nashville earlier. I know the company we use, I think they're out of Nashville.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm assuming, I don't know. That's my guess is maybe it started around their music scene. But I don't know.
Because it's an interesting concept. I've never been a part of it. Brian, have you been a part of a silent music party? No? Are they always called silent disco regardless of the music?
I don't know. I've only done this one silent disco in Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a good concept. It's kind of fun and different. It just seems... I guess that would be expensive because everybody would have to have their own, but that's kind of fun. 3 different DJs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just surprise people. I'd like to be the DJ and just be like, oh, here we go. Here's something the college students today would not remember.
Right.
Something from the 90s R&B. Here you go.
Yep.
Or maybe they would. I don't know. But
it's fun. It adds like a little, I think, fun competition between the DJs of like, how many people are going to llisten to my song versus the others, know?
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And it's on the beach.
Yeah. Best place to dance. It's tiring because you're, the sand, trying to jump up and down.
Yeah, for sure.
But everyone's out there. They're sweating. They're having a great time. We used to do the dance party so it's a Christian retreat center. And so the main area where we have worship and everything is called the Promised Land, which is amazing. Okay. And in the Promised Land, around the outside, there's all these books that this guy brings and sells every year. It's really great. He has a great selection. But there's hundreds of books. And we used to have the dance party in the Promised Land. But what was happening is there were so many sweaty bodies in there that literally there was like condensation happening. And so he'd have to put giant tarps over his books to protect his books from this like sweaty, nasty place that would develop from this dance party happening in the Promised Land. Yeah. So the beach is the right place to do this.
It's really funny. It's called the Promised Land.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's so great.
So does that guy come back every year and sell those books?
Yeah. He's awesome. His name's Ken. He's from Nashville. A lot of good things coming out of Nashville.
Yeah, I know,
in this
right?
conversation.
I feel like this is like the third Nashville bomb.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Logos bookstore, I think. But yeah, he's got great books at a great price. And that's my weakness. I am so good at buying books that I aspire to read and then that sit on my shelf for a long time.
I mean, I hear you. What was your last book that you bought?
Yeah. Well, there's a really cool spot in Johnson City, Johnson's Literary Depot, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's downtown, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right there near the Moon, new location, another great spot. So my wife and I, we had a little date during the day and hung out at the Moon and then went and walked around Johnson's Literary Depot, and I bought Deacon King Kong by James McBride.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like a humorous thriller novel set in Harlem.
Okay.
So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that was the last book that you purchased.
Right.
What's the last one that you actually read?
Yeah.
Did you start that one?
It's like hard to remember. Like what?
It's okay.
What's a book that I
don't know. You also have kids, so I get it. Like even if you can't remember.
I was on, I don't know if you've heard of Goodreads, but Goodreads is basically social media for books, and you can record when you've read books, and you can also make goals for yourself. I'm like, this year I'm going to read 40 books.
Okay.
And so I think that was my goal for 2025 is 40 books. And I ended with about 20.
That's a lot of books.
I considered, there's a lot of kids books in our house. I considered just like, not, I read Dr. Seuss. Green Eggs and Ham, that counts.
I mean, wait, if you read a book to your kids every night, then you technically crushed that goal by like, 3 times.
And I read them out loud. I should get extra points. But yeah, I'm reading a book right now that hopefully I'll finish called Theo of Golden, and it's a novel, and it's wonderful. And some other campus ministers from around the country are reading that. We have a group me thread. So I love reading books with other people and discussing them.
What's it about?
It's about a man who moves from Portugal to the small town of Golden, Georgia.
Okay.
And he sees all these portraits on the wall of different people in the town.
Yeah.
And so he buys every portrait and delivers it to the person that it was drawn from. And it's a heartwarming book. It's like a tiny bit Hallmarky, I would say. A little cheesy.
So it's fake. It's not a real book?
It's just a novel.
Not based on news.
No.
Okay. I was almost going to say nonfiction or fiction, but that always trips me up because I feel like, fiction is the one that is not true, correct? And then nonfiction is true, but I always feel like nonfiction should be not true because of nonfiction. I don't know why. That trips you up too, right, Brian? Have you ever, does that trip you up or is that?
A lot of things trip me up. That one hasn't yet.
Oh,
but it might now that we've talked about it. I'm
sorry.
gonna
I just reversed it. I just reversed it for you. I'm sorry. All right. So that sounds like a fun book.
Yeah. It's been good.
So did you set yours a good Goodreads goal?
I think I'm done with Goodreads goals. I think they just leave me feeling disappointed. So I'm just gonna,
Yeah. It's a tough one because we love to read too, but it's it's hard. And then a lot of times we like audiobooks too, because then we can listen to it like in the car or, when we're going somewhere. Because that's a little bit easier. Because at nighttime, after you have kids and you get them to bed, and then that's when we'll sit down to like do our work too, as business owners, because we can't. It's like kind of like ebbs and flows of our work day.
Yeah,
and so it's so hard because then we'll try and get that done, and then a few minutes it's like. I'm trying to read. So I've had a book probably. That I've been trying to get through for the past year, which is a very difficult read. And I've read a couple other little things in between. Like we did, we had a total fluke of a read, which both Brian and I did in 48 hours because the book was that good. We couldn't stop reading it. And it's called The Watchmaker's Daughter. It's about the life of Corrie ten Boom. But it was I don't know if you're familiar with Corrie ten Boom, The Hiding Place, all that. But this was there was a man who wanted to really find out what she was like. And I believe he was an atheist maybe when he started or maybe not. I'm not sure. But he learned so much about Corrie ten Boom and he saw all of these accounts that nobody else knew about. He found all this stuff and all these pieces. And it was just the craziest book that I've ever read. And so I was reading it and I'd open it up and I would just be reading it and then I would just start weeping. And Brian was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. But you have to read this next because you don't understand this woman's life." It was unbelievable. So then I finished it in 2 days, which is, a record. Yeah. So then I gave it to Brian and he was like, "This is amazing." And so and then he did it in 2 days and he was just like, "Now I understand why you were having weird moments of weeping because it's this true story about her life." So put that on your list of a book that you have to read. Yeah. Watchmaker's Daughter. Right? You did it in 2 days, right, Brian? Is this too close or is this good? All right. Is Will's in a good spot?
Sweet.
Okay.
So
that's
amazing.
a good one. Put that. Your wife will enjoy it too, actually. Yeah. Corrie ten Boom is a really cool lady. And there's, so I grew up in the Midwest and there was a church that we went to and the pastor's wife was one of the last women to take care of Corrie ten Boom.
Oh, wow.
And so her name was in there and I was like, I remember that lady from church. So it's just really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, I had little connection.
Love that.
So,
yeah, that's amazing.
It was pretty cool.
I'm curious how y'all raise kids and run a business and not just go crazy. Because I think if my wife and I tried to do that, it would be tough.
Tough from what standpoint?
So I just know it's, when you're around someone a lot, I mean, I love my wife more than anyone in the world, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's good for us to kind of have our own things, and so just, I mean, I asked my wife to work for RUF because she's amazing. She's, the most ministry-minded person I've ever met.
Yeah.
Loves people super well, loves Jesus like crazy. And so I'm like, you should work for RUF. She's like, baby, I love you. And like, I never want to work with you. Like I don't, and especially not like for you, because I would kind of be your boss in that scenario.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's hard to describe why. I mean, it makes, you're kind of running a business, I guess, when you're running a family. Yeah. So, but I'm just curious what's kept y'all sane in that process. Because
what's kept us sane in this process, Brian? I don't know. Maybe we're not. That's what Brian said. Yeah. Maybe we're the crazy ones. Excuse me. We do, but I don't even know how that started. I don't even know how that started. I don't know. We're just one of those couples that literally can be together. It's not for everybody. But we can just hang out 24/7. And it doesn't mean that we don't get into little arguments or tiffs about things, because sometimes we have to have those like tough business conversations. Yeah. Neither one of us is over the other one. And so that probably helps too, because we have equal parts. And so we really just like played our strengths. Case in point right here is that Brian is very introverted and quiet. And so he prefers to be over there. Yeah. And I'm not really introverted or quiet. Yeah. I mean, I sure can be. And so then I'm over here. So we just really stick to what we're good at. And we just try and be honest with each other. Like if Brian's like, hey, I got to do this and I really need your help because this is not something that's my strength. This is more your strength. Right. And then if I'm like, hey, I don't know how to do this. So please help me because you're really good at this. So it's a lot of humbling moments too, to just be like, I can't do this. I don't know how to do this, or we need help with this because neither one of us can do it. So it's just really about knowing your limits. And then just God gave us that gift to work with each other. So
that's awesome. I love that.
That's it. Yeah. That's our story. And then our boys are just fun and crazy, and we try and include them on all the things too. Just so that they see what it's like to have entrepreneur parents, because it's not easy at all. Yeah. But we want them to understand that they could do that if they want, or they can work for somebody, they can do whatever they want, but it's just kind of different for them. Because then they're like, okay, we're home all the time. We see mommy and daddy are home all the time. And so we really try, and I think the hardest part is schedule for us, is like trying to delineate those times of, okay, this is your schoolwork time. And while you're doing this, this is when mommy and daddy can also try and get some work done together. Yeah. And so that's probably the hardest for us.
Yeah. But that organizational piece, scheduling, so hard.
It's a work in progress too, because as you know, with kids, everything ebbs and flows. And so same with business. It's you're trying to raise both at the same time. So you just have to have grace for yourself and each other. And then ask people for help.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I think a majority of people do a bad job. Excuse me, asking people for help. Yeah. Especially these days. I think people get embarrassed. Do you find that working with college students that asking for help or asking some of those tough questions is a common thing that you're seeing?
That's a great question. Again, I think it depends on the person. But yeah, I think just more and more we're seeing people struggle to make relationships. Yeah. I think you have to have a lot of trust in someone to ask them for help and let them in and be vulnerable in that way to share that you need help. And so, yeah, I think a big part of our job is just trying to get people in close proximity, hopefully not just looking at their phones the whole time. And
that's tough.
Just build those relationships so that, like in RUF, we kind of talk about building up chips with people. And that's what we're kind of constantly doing with students, is we're building up these relational chips that then we can cash in, maybe by asking them a hard question or asking them to maybe commit in a certain way. But students, they're doing that with each other too. When they're building up kind of just relational chips, you could say, or it's a good analogy in some ways, but it's also like, obviously relationships aren't, money driven or exchange driven.
Yeah, no, I get it.
but just, trying to build up that trust with each other so that when, the things hit the fan, they have each other to lean on and to ask for help.
Do you think that like technology, because the generation that's in college right now, I don't even know what their title is in terms of like after millennial and then Gen Z.
Right.
And then what's after Gen Z?
Gen Alpha. But yeah, we're in Gen Z right now with college students mainly, I think. And yeah, I mean, Jonathan Haidt, another book I have heard about but haven't read is The Most Anxious Generation.
Okay.
But just the title, that's what Gen Z has been called, is the most anxious generation. They've never known a time when it wasn't post 9/11. Yeah. And they've never known a time when there wasn't a smartphone everywhere. Yeah. And so, that the smartphones have kind of discipled a lot of these now college students. Yeah. And so, I mean, I know I struggle with addiction to my smartphone. Yeah. And I've had one since I guess I was 20 or so. Yeah. So thinking of if you've had one since you're 10, of course, and there weren't, I think parents are still trying to find out. And that's a big part of what that book is about. I've listened to a podcast about the book. I can act like I've read it. Yeah. But just what does it look like as parents to love our kids well? And the guy writing it, he's not a Christian, but he talks about things like, don't let them have social media till they're 16 and don't let them have a smartphone until they're, 14 or something like that. I can't remember. But then also like get them outside, I think like y'all were talking about, get your kids out with the chickens and talking about business with y'all and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Get your kids outside running around with the chickens. They'll absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is weird. So are you part of the Gen Z also? Millennial?
No, I'm a millennial. Okay. Yeah. So that's definitely been a learning experience. Mm-hmm. Things that when I'm teaching the Bible or trying to relate to students, there's things that I am constantly missing. Yeah. And so I need to ask their help a lot to show me what are the things, that you love the most, the ways that you relate, the ways you think.
Yeah, it is. The technology is weird because we're millennials too. And it's weird because, we are the last generation that grew up without the smartphones. And so like when we were in high school, there wasn't smartphones, it was like, you saw Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell with the giant phone and like nobody had that. Yeah. And so we were like that last generation that like played outside till it was dark and then you had to go home. Like we biked to our friend's house. You would go to the mall, which like, and you would just hope your friend was there. Yeah. And like, so it's just so, and I think that there is so much of that it's really sad that that's not here anymore for like, as parents for our kids to not have that feeling because like everything is so planned and even like going to birthday parties and stuff, like all the parents are there too. Like, I don't remember, that wasn't the thing when I was a kid. I would get dropped off at the birthday party and then I would get picked up. But I mean now, so it's just like, it's hard. So then do you have a hard time balancing that with your own children as well? Because I mean, I don't even know what our kids' generation would be called now. Yeah, yeah. What's after? So you said Gen Z, then Gen Alpha?
I think it's Gen Alpha, and I don't know anything about Gen Alpha. I just think that's what it's called.
Yeah, look up what the latest generation is. I don't even,
Yeah, but your question was relating to my kids? Yeah. Yeah, my actual kids on that level. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's easy to romanticize, our childhood. And so for me, beta. Oh, wow. There we go.
So wait, our boys, and how old are your kids? You said 12?
8, 5, and 2.
Oh, 8, 5, and 2. Okay. Yeah. So what are the years for that generation beta?
January 1st, 2025, continuing through 2039.
Oh.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
But that's 2025.
So that's if they were
just last year.
Born.
Yeah, that was if they were born last year, Brian. What's the generation before that?
Alpha.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So our kids are
24. Okay.
Cool. All in. They're Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to romanticize different eras, and I think season of growing up has its positives and negatives. So I know for me, I am constantly trying to challenge myself to see more of the positives because it's easier to see the negatives, kind of in anything. And yeah, I do get really, frustrated when my 8-year-old is asking me for his own iPad, and I'm like, we're not going to do that. I know a lot of kids do that, but we're going to be those weird parents that don't, and that's hard for him to understand. And so a lot of times I wish that that didn't have to be a conversation, but there's other really beautiful things about, I think they have an awareness of the world that I didn't have. I kind of grew up in a bubble, I feel like.
Like what?
So
what do you think the awareness that they have that you didn't?
Yeah, I mean, my 8-year-old, I think it's partly just because he's super smart. But, he just knows about so many things. I mean, that's reflected in different shows and things, everyone from Dogman to Sonic to Harry Potter. But also just, things going on in the world. I feel like he has a greater understanding and even comfortability talking about those kinds of things than I did when I was growing up. I think I was more under the illusion that I grew up in Boone, North Carolina, small town, and this is kind of all there is, and I'm okay with that. And so there's obviously, I think, sometimes where there's things that are going on in the world that he doesn't need to know about yet or care about, but I think there's also a positive side to that too.
I hear you. So last year, you had reached out to Brian. Now, how did you and Brian end up meeting? How did you guys meet?
I think through someone at Redeemer. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
really?
just asking people, friends that I have over there, if they knew anyone who could maybe or would want to get connected to what we're doing. And I think it was Michael Mabry connected us.
Oh, I think that, that makes sense. So then Love Thy Neighbor happened last year. So let's talk about Love Thy Neighbor for a little bit. What? Love your neighbor. Sorry. Well, because love
You
thy
just
neighbor.
formalized it. I like it.
Well, biblical, right?
King James.
Love your neighbor. Sorry. So let's talk about Love Your Neighbor a little bit. And just like, is this a passion project of yours? Is homelessness something like that is really laying heavily on your heart? Talk to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to go back to kind of the beginning of what got me thinking about the idea. So my wife and I went to a all-day Saturday event when we were in Charlotte in 2018 called the Movement Day. And they have movement days all over the world. But basically what Movement Day is trying to do is connect nonprofits and church leaders and businessmen, business people, all together to see how can we transform the city for good, for the glory of Jesus.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, it'd be great to do a movement day. Since day one of moving to Johnson City, I'd been thinking about that. It had a huge impact on us personally too, because we heard about the need for foster parents at that conference. And that was a big reason why we started thinking about fostering. So I thought, man, it'd be awesome to do something similar in Johnson City.
Yeah.
I think, there'd be a lot of interest. And so kind of from there was a team of people, I guess, that formed, just mainly friends of mine and different connections that were interested with that idea as well. And then it just kind of morphed into the Love Your Neighbor. We called it Love Your Neighbor instead of a conference, a conversation, because what we really wanted at the heart of it were people talking to each other from different walks of life and different perspectives.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to maybe our earlier point. I think it's easy to stay in an echo chamber with a lot of these things. So we really wanted a lot of cross-pollination, I guess, of different people. And so, we had 3 speakers there. One guy talking about Hurricane Helene relief from Appalachian Service Project, Aaron Scott, who then was a consultant for the city of Johnson City on homelessness. And then, Andy, what is her last name at ETSU? Clements. There we go. Talking about her work. I think it was Tanner Clements, the whole family. It's a family business. And man, I forget their nonprofit. Do you remember, Brian? What's the name of their nonprofit? But they kind of connect it's like addiction recovery. They have a really cool program where they give people rides all over that maybe are coming out of recovery and need to go to meetings or jobs, but they can't drive. And so that's been a really cool rideshare program they do. So anyway, it was, and then you ask, has homelessness always been something that's, I think, again, growing up in Boone, there was one homeless person that was kind of like famous / infamous in town.
Yeah.
And so there's not a lot of awareness of that growing up. And I think moving to different places, I spent a summer in India. There was definitely a lot of homelessness there. That was very eye-opening. And then I think coming back from India, just seeing, and in college at UNC Chapel Hill, they had a really awesome nonprofit that was run by students that they tried to, I guess, come alongside homeless folks, and there were different nonprofit or different events and things they'd have. So anyway, I think just had a growing awareness of that. And then, as a follower of Jesus, I mean, I think Jesus compares himself, or I guess identifies with people who don't have a house, right? He talks about foxes have holes to live in, and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. So, as kind of an itinerant preacher, he experienced like, hey, I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight. And so anyway, I think just it seemed I've been challenged more and more, I think, in following Jesus to care for people that are on the margins, and just to try to figure out what that looks like as someone who has grown up in basically wealth my whole life, right? And so what does that kind of look like?
Yeah. Where in India? You said you spent a month there? 2
months. Yeah,
okay.
I was in Calcutta most of the time.
Oh, wow.
And then traveled around the country, went to Delhi and Mumbai, and up to this place called Sikkim, which is on the edge of the Himalayas. So it was a really transformative experience.
And what did you initially go out there for?
I wanted to just see different nonprofits in India. I had a scholarship at UNC where I was able to kind of construct a summer experience, I guess, around that. And so that was just amazing opportunity. And so, I guess volunteered with 3 different nonprofits in Calcutta. One of them was Mother Teresa's organization, Missionaries of Charity. And then a few others, another Roman Catholic organization, and the other one was just this random nonprofit that this person started. So there was a lot of learning that went into all of that. And I went there alone as well. And so I feel like it was a real coming of age summer for me, getting pickpocketed, having to have my parents, wire me money and like all those fun things. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How many times did you get pickpocketed there?
More than just once. Yeah, just once.
Okay.
So really I should be grateful, I guess. As the, kind of carefree traveler that I was. Nothing worse happened to me, I guess. But
I mean, that is a blessing. Nothing worse happened. But that is pretty devastating though, because then were you going to buy something and then you were like, what was the moment you realized your wallet was gone?
Yeah, I was on a bus with, I don't know how much do you know, or have you been to India before?
No, I have not.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of people that can fit into different spaces is pretty incredible. So trains, buses, all of that. I mean, it was
the perfect setup for an environment, and you stuck out like a sore thumb. They were just like, this guy, get his wallet.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and I had these baggy pants that I was wearing and just had it right there.
You didn't even feel it.
So, but
it's all right. Okay. So then you were in India for 2 months, studied with some of these nonprofits. And then, so this is while you were enrolled in school.
Mm-hmm.
And did you go to school to be involved in nonprofits, or did you specifically go for being a pastor? What was your end game there?
I started off as a drama major. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, but loved theater all through high school. And, so started as that, and then realized that wasn't for me. And then my mom gave me the advice, just look through the different classes that you'd have to take for each major. And I had in the back of my mind for a long time, just, hey, maybe I'll be a pastor. And so religion always interested me. So I became a religious studies major. And that definitely had a lot of challenges for me as well.
Yeah.
Because there was only one professor of the 6, 7, 8 professors that I had who was Christian.
Okay.
The rest, and some of them were very open and try to convince you
Yes.
of,
Yeah.
that at least the Christian God was not the God to follow. So yeah, but that's kind of how I ended up religious studies major, and thought I wanted to do international missions after, but then heard about the RUF internship program, and God had really worked powerfully in my life through RUF. It was really the first time I came to, I think, an understanding of the gospel as a Christian. Before that, mainly through Young Life and hearing the gospel at Young Life in my church back home. But yeah, after hearing about the RUF internship program, where I was able to get discipled by a campus minister, and then you get to go to seminary for free. At least that was the deal when I went. I'm like, I got to do that. So ended up there.
Cool. So then did you leave college to go to seminary, or did you finish?
No, I finished out and graduated
Okay.
at UNC, and then did 3 years of the RUF internship.
Okay.
Met my wife, Haley, doing that. She was at Wofford College. I was at University of South Carolina.
Oh, cool.
And then I went to 3 years of seminary after that.
And then where was seminary at?
It was in Charlotte at Reformed Theological Seminary.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Right. So not too far.
Yeah.
And did she go with you? Were you guys already married at that point?
Yeah. So she had one more year of the internship to finish. And we got married right after she finished that. So we dated for about 1.5 years, and then got married, and she moved. So we did long distance our whole dating. We were about 1.5 hours from Columbia to Spartanburg, and then from Charlotte to Spartanburg.
Yeah.
So getting married was really great. Getting to finally be in the same city as well as be married.
Yeah. I understand that. When Brian and I first started dating, I was living in Philadelphia at the time, and he was in Connecticut. So that was a little bit farther, because that was like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Without New York traffic, which there's always traffic in New York. I digress. So you guys going to adopt any more? Any foster?
Oh man, what a question. I mean, we're definitely open to that. Yeah, it's hard to balance all that out of, what is our capacity, and obviously with every kid you get, you divide up the attention you're giving to the other kids, at least on some level. And so, yeah, I think we're still praying through that.
Yeah.
So we'll see where the Lord leads us.
Yeah.
And one thing we have thought about, which is maybe where we're leaning slightly at this point, is just as kids get older, it becomes harder to find placements for them. So maybe we would wait till our kids are a little older, and then foster an older kid, maybe like a 7-year-old or something like that.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay. And is Love Your Neighbor happening again this year?
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of work that went into Love Your Neighbor last year. And so I think the work, I guess, of Love Your Neighbor has continued, in my mind, in a really encouraging way through, it's called Pizza and Prayer for the Vulnerable. So every Friday, a group of college students gets together and goes downtown at 12:30 and just prays. We have these cards that they've written down, and every person who's come is invited to write down a card for a vulnerable person or a vulnerable situation.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome to see God answer so many of those prayers. And then we have pizza there, so we'll walk around and hand out pizza to whoever wants it. But I've been just really encouraged. I think one of my prayers with Love Your Neighbor is to create more of a connection between students that maybe feel like they're on a little bit of a bubble on campus, and bring them to downtown, and really get to know people, hear people's stories, see that I think there is such a stigma around homeless people. And so for some of that to disappear has been really encouraging.
Yeah. It's funny because it's so close to downtown too.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see like get out of their bubble, it's like, it's really not that far for them to just go. But we all get caught in our little bubble radius of where we stay.
Yeah.
And so it's, So what advice would you give for college students or any young person in college right now struggling or not knowing what to do. Maybe they don't know RUF, or maybe there's a parent that's watching this and they have children that are struggling and they're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I think we are in a time where people just feel so isolated. And they're also seeing pictures of people's lives that seem perfect on social media all the time. And so there's such an othering, I think, that happens, and people just feeling isolated. And so just that they would know they're not alone, that the God of the universe sees them and loves them and wants to have a relationship with them. And, that they would hopefully find, there's so many opportunities, so many campus ministries, so many churches, just that they'd find a community that's gospel-centered, where they can have friendships, where they can have people that come alongside them in that. That's my prayer for students.
Okay. And if somebody wanted to look more into RUF, is there a website that they can check out?
Yeah, ruf.org/ETSU. And we're on Instagram. We meet every Tuesday night for pizza dinner. We do a lot of pizza.
Yeah.
College. So,
They can eat all the pizza and not gain a pound, so it's okay.
I know, it's not fair. But we do pizza in the Culp Center right there near Starbucks every Tuesday night at 7:30. And then we have a worship night at 8 in Roger Stout 102. And we're currently doing a series on the life of Moses, which has been really great to kind of follow that story. So, yeah.
And then do you ever take volunteers that aren't college students to help with anything?
Yeah, we do. One thing it's funny you asked that, because one of my interns, her name's Emma Cade, she's amazing. And she was just saying she thinks it'd be really great to continue to dream about what it looks like to connect families to students, and to even have almost adoptive families for students. And so that would be something that would be done on like kind of a case-by-case basis. But we talk about in RUF how we are the food truck of the local church. Like, we have part of the menu for them, and we want to give them the taste of the local church, but really you got to go to the real restaurant and experience the full menu. That's where we want students to end up. I tell them, like, they're sick of me saying this, but I'm going to keep saying it, that our goal, not as much as that you're really involved in RUF 2 years from now, but that you're deeply involved in the local church 20 years from now. Like, that's what we're all about. And so, in terms of the community, I think just being a church member who is on the lookout for college students, that you invite them into your home, that you, a lot of them do feel isolated and lonely, and a lot of them are coming from really tough family situations. So it can be huge for them just to see, oh, wow, this is a family that runs a business together, that, has stuck through it, through thick and thin, and that's raising their kids to, love Jesus. Like, that's something a lot of our students have never seen. So that can be huge for you, just to show them hospitality in that way.
Cool. Well, that'd be really fun to have some kind of a program for the college students, to just pair them up with, whether that's a family or whether that's even like maybe empty nesters that their college kids are going. So they're like, I want to love on a college kid because mine's not here.
Right. Yeah.
So that could be a really cool program.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because that's also something that you obviously don't have in college. It's all people the same age.
Yep.
And so, we really
talk
just
about echo chamber.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I think as we were talking about it, we're like, how do we kind of create this program? And we're like, man, what we really just need to do is get students to church and then at those churches for people to be on the lookout for college students. Because I think, we forget that we have a mission field right here in Johnson City, not just with tons of international students, but tons of people who don't know Jesus, or tons of people who are at a crucial moment in their lives where they're kind of wrestling with the claims of Jesus, or wrestling with, we have tons of students who have church hurt. That's a big hang up for a lot of our students. So it's an opportunity for every church member in Johnson City who has a college student coming to their church, for them to show them the love of the body of Christ, and to show them, what the body of Christ really can be. And so,
Cool. Well, thank you for that. If there's so people can reach out even to you if they want to
Of
through
course.
RUF or
Yeah.
ETSU or Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Will, today for sitting
Yeah.
down with us. And we know you got to get back to campus.
Yep.
So
Yep.
maybe we'll get to sit down again in the future, or even maybe with Haley.
Yeah.
And just learn more about you guys.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is fun.
This episode is powered by OutPost Roasters, small batch, high quality coffee with soul. OutPost Roasters in Johnson City specializes in freshly roasted, small batch, ethically sourced, fair trade local coffee. That's what sets them apart from the big guys. They work directly with small farms and co-ops to ensure responsible practices and rich, balanced flavor in every single cup. Whether it's early mornings or late nights, their 12-ounce bags deliver bold, smooth coffee at a totally fair price. Head to outpostroastersjc.com to explore their blends and single origins. Outpost Roasters, coffee that's definitely worth waking up for.